In this video, we are going to discuss if hiring a doula really has any benefits for the labor and birth process according to scientific studies, or if doulas are just a hype.
Right. Next, we're going to explain why you should still take a childbirth class if you decide to hire a doula. And finally, we are also going to discuss under which circumstances hiring a doula is pointless.
Yes, this is Nathalie, a pregnancy and birth consultant and TCM therapist.
And that's Mathias, a researcher and Science Geek. And we are here to help mummies and their babies naturally and science-based.
So, do you really need a doula? Our mission at Nathalie's clinic is to help women have the most natural and safest birth possible.
Right.
Meaning that we want to help women give birth to their baby with as few medical interventions as possible. Because of that, it probably does not come as a surprise that we are in touch with lots of doulas. In fact, Nathalie even teaches doulas alternative medicine treatments for labor because normally that's exactly what a doula wants for you too.
Right.
A doula wants you to have a natural and safe delivery, if possible, without any medical interventions, right?
Now the question is, are doulas really able to do that, given the fact that they normally don't have a medical background? And here is the answer. So first of all, scientific studies have found that continuous support during labor from a trained supportive companion like a doula significantly reduces the rate of C-sections. For example, one study found that the odds of a C-section were 40.9% lower in doula-supported deliveries.
Yes, by the way, that's one of the reasons why many scientists recommend that doulas should be reimbursed by healthcare programs, such as Medicaid in the United States, for instance, right? They found that on average, it is more cost-effective to pay for a doula than to pay for a C-section, since doulas can help reduce the rate of C-sections, right? So that's the most extreme medical intervention a doula may be able to help you avoid.
Yes. Moreover, scientific studies have found that continuous labor support significantly reduces the rate of instrumental deliveries. That's another major medical intervention because it involves getting the baby out of the birth canal with instruments, for example, with the help of forceps.
Yeah.
And since forceps require a lot of space in the vagina, they almost always require another medical intervention, namely an episiotomy, which is a surgical cut at the opening of the vagina. So that's another 2 medical interventions a doula might be able to help you avoid.
Right. On top of that, according to scientific studies, continuous support during labor also seems to decrease the need of analgesia during labor, such as an epidural.
Right.
And for us, this is clearly one of the most important benefits of continuous support during labor, because a major problem with epidurals is that in many, many cases, they're only just the first one of more medical interventions to follow. And that's not what we say, that's what scientists have found, right?
Yes. When you get an epidural, you're almost certainly going to require continuous fetal monitoring, which in most cases means that you will be confined to bed. As a result, a labor can slow down, often to a point when the medical team will give you synthetic hormones to keep labor going. But then the next problem is that pushing is much more difficult because you feel less down there.
Yeah.
Because of that, epidurals are also linked to higher rates of instrumental deliveries, as was shown in scientific studies.
Yes, so if a doula can help you stay away from epidurals, then you're really taking a big step towards a completely natural delivery.
Right.
So that was epidurals. Next, there is scientific evidence that the doula can help you reduce labor duration by about 41 minutes on average.
Yes, this may not sound like a lot now, but trust me, once you are in labor and have contractions, 41 minutes can be a very, very long time.
Yeah.
On top of that, there is also some evidence that doulas seem to slightly improve the rate of spontaneous deliveries.
Right. And finally, there is also evidence that women who receive continuous support during labor are less likely to have a newborn with a low 5-minute APGAR score.
Right.
What's the APGAR score? Well, when your baby is born, your midwife is going to assess your baby's overall condition 1 and 5 minutes after birth using the APGAR score. And a high score means that your baby is doing well.
Right. So you see, scientific studies really do find that doulas can help reduce the need for medical interventions in order to help you have the most natural birth possible.
Yeah.
And just that you know, so far scientists have not been able to find any negative effects of continuous labor support on labor and birth.
Yes. Now, here is what's important if you want to get the most out of a doula, if you wish to hire one, right? Unfortunately, we often meet women who tell us that they have no intention to attend any childbirth classes because, according to them, they don't need to, since that's what they pay a doula for.
Right.
As a result, they often blame their doula for everything that did not work out in labor as expected. But you see, your birth experience is not only just a matter of what you and your doula do or don't do during labor. Another major component that influences your birth experience is what you know about the labor and birth process and how well you prepare your body for labor.
Yes. So for example, of course, your doula can help you reduce labor pain with the help of natural treatments. However, you can support that process too.
Yeah.
For example, researchers have found that if you exercise regularly during your pregnancy, the level of endorphins in your body increases.
Yes, endorphins are natural painkillers of your body. And according to those scientists, the higher levels of endorphins can explain, at least in part, why women who exercise during their pregnancy tend to need less analgesia during labor.
That's right. Your doula can then build on those higher levels of endorphins and do her magic to help you cope with the pain even better.
Yeah.
And it's that combined effort which can make all the difference for you and help you through labor without any analgesia.
Yes, because of that, we clearly recommend taking childbirth classes, no matter if you hire a doula or not.
Right.
And please make sure that these classes do not only teach you what to expect during labor. A good childbirth class also teaches you ways to prepare your body and mind for labor.
Right.
For example, in our own courses, we do not only teach women what to expect during labor and which treatments, techniques and tools can help them through labor. We also teach them how to mentally and physically prepare for labor, including alternative medicine tools such as auricular therapy and acupuncture-like treatments.
Right.
And if you combine that knowledge with continuous support during labor, then you really have a very powerful combination to help you through labor and birth.
Right. One final thing, one of the most important functions of a doula is to advocate for you during labor. And in that role, she can often help a woman at least postpone a medical intervention to give her more time to find natural solutions.
Yeah.
For example, she could use that time to try natural treatments such as reflexology or techniques in labor positions to get the baby into a better position for labor, which can often help avoid medical interventions. But the key here is you have to let her.
Yes, many doulas have told us that the one thing that frustrates them the most is when a woman clearly communicates to them before labor that she doesn't want to have any medical interventions during labor whatsoever. But then as soon as the doctor recommends a medical intervention during labor, she's like, okay, let's do this, right? So our point is, if you decide to hire a doula, don't just hire her for the sake of having a doula because that's pointless.
Right.
Think carefully about why you would like to have a doula and which task you would like your doula to take over during labor. Communicate your wishes to her, but then also let her do the job you hired her for.
Right.
Because only then will you be able to fully benefit from a doula.
Right. We really hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, we would be super grateful if you could leave us a like.
Yes, and for more videos on pregnancy and baby related topics in the near future, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell.